This is a Saturday Morning TVLog from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday Morning TVLog, and this time around it's Piggsburg Pigs, brought to us by Ruby Spears, the Fischer Company, the Fred Silverman Company, and Fox Children's Productions. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm the Big D, and this is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So this week's Saturday Morning TVLog is on yet another long-lost gem of an animated series, and a pretty obscure and underrated tune. It's Piggsburg Pigs, an animated series created by Melissa Silverman, or I believe it's kin to Fred Silverman, the executive producer of this series. I'm not entirely 110% sure, so bear with me. Who was executive producer along with Cy Fischer, along with the team of Joe Ruby and Ken Spears, through their Ruby Spears production company. The show originally premiered on the Fox network as one of the first shows to be airing on the Fox Kids network block on September 15th, 1990. Now, this series was located behind the world's largest pig farm. The city of Piggsburg is a swine-only habitat. Our three of our main characters are the Bacon brothers, Bo, Portley, and Pighead, as well as their pet duck Quackers, who each week fight the evil plans of the hungry, carnivorous Wolf brothers Huff and Puff, as well as the supernatural forces from the Forbidden Zone outside of Piggsburg. They are also joined by other their members of their team that include Dottie, Lorelei, the children Piggy, Pokey, and Prissy, and the snobby Rembrandt, or Remy for short, Proud Pork. When not fighting off evil plots, the boys unwind at nearby Newport Beach. Now, this show here is pretty obscure, but it's pretty funny and what have you. As I've said, was one of the first shows to premiere on the Fox Kids Network block. As this premiered along with other shows including Zazu U, Bobby's World, and the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes animated series. Plus, of course, the messy game show Funhouse after it had been in syndication for its first couple of years. Anyway, this show I have not seen in ages since it aired. Now, I recently did catch it just a while ago. I'll get to that in a little bit. This show is really comical, but pretty good. It almost kind of feels like it's a Scooby-Doo knockoff, but it isn't. No, it's not really a mystery theme tune, but it is kind of a little something where the Bacon brothers usually had to do their job to find out some mysterious happenings that's going on around the Piggsburg, especially around the Forbidden Zone. But anyway, I found this to be so funny after rewatched it for the first time since I was a kid. Because after this aired its 13 episode first season run, the show ended on December 15th, 1990. It continued on for the rest of the season, but after that, the show was never seen again. It has never been re-aired in the US. It may, however, have been aired overseas, though, considering it was never before released on video cassette or DVD in the US. But however, a set of 3 DVDs containing 2 episodes each were released in the UK in 2007. Now, most of the episodes are currently available on YouTube, including one which was the last episode of the series to be taken from an actual Fox Kids broadcast. Well, actually, most of the episodes, another episode was taken from the Fox Kids broadcast, but however, it didn't have the commercial bumpers and commercials included. The last episode actually did, which I think that brought back some memories for, especially with its bumpers, because I had to look high and low for the first year of Fox Kids commercial bumpers. And even though I found most of them, but soon I found two others that I hadn't seen for some time, but that brought back some memories. Anyway, I've got to admit, Piggsburg Pigs, it may not be one of the great tunes of the 90s, but still, it's pretty underrated though. This would actually be the last series to actually be done by Ruby Spears with their actual classic RS logo they used from 1981 to 1990. Yeah, from 81 to 91. As this would be also be the last series to be produced by them. However, this is a show that's not owned by, well, but I will say this is only one of 3 shows from Ruby Spears not to be owned by a certain studio, which I shall not name because I doubt they'll get on to me. But anyway, of course, I'm talking the Warners. But of course, the only ones that the only others that aren't owned by the only other 2 are the Punky Brewster and Rambo animated series. But anyway, yes. So I am gonna say this is pretty funny. Stand by, I'll give you a look at some of the characters. Here's an actual shot of the 3 Bacon brothers and, well, their duck, as this was also the picture that was shown for the title cards for each episode. Up there's the logo for the show. Here's a look at the whole group and these strange looking creatures they encountered, which are sort of like reminiscent of the Krites from the 1986 flick Critters. Piggsburg Pigs would also be the last show Ruby Spears produced, as they were under the license from Great American Television, who of course owned their big sister or brother company of Hanna-Barbera. But again, as I've said, this is one of the shows not to be owned by the Warners. So apparently this could be owned by Disney, actually, since Fox is, got merged in with Disney. But however, I could be wrong, but I think it is, actually. But nevertheless, I found Piggsburg Pigs to be pretty entertaining. Now then, for now of some of some of the crew that worked on this, there was the late great Stu Rosen, who had actually was who was the voice director, and he also had after this he would later go on to do voice acting in shows like Two Stupid Dogs, Biker Mice from Mars, the Iron Man animated series, and Phantom 2040. He had recently lent his voice to stuff like the Fraggle Rocks series, as well as Kissy Fur, My Little Pony and Friends, and Ruby Spears' Superman. And he'd also lend his voice to Dr. Russell on Zazu U. And the key model designer is Butch Hartman, who of course later went on to create The Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Tough Puppy, and Bunsen is a Beast for Nickelodeon. And of course, he was also executive producer on The Fairly Odd Parents as well. So that was pretty cool, don't you think? Yeah. And he also worked on lots of other cartoons. There's too many to mention, though, but yes. For the voice acting cast, we have Lynn Carlson as Rembrandt, Tara Strong, although she was originally credited as Tara Sharondoff after she had recently lent her voice to earlier shows before this, as Diane Priestley. Keith Knight voiced Portly, Jonathan Potts voiced Bo, Norm Spencer voiced Puff, John Stalker voiced Huff, and Susan Roman voiced Lorelai. There's lots of other voices and what have you, but that's all I can give to you. Most of those I'm not too familiar with. A few I am. Now, this would be the last animated work of Fred Silverman in the animation business. Of course, was already big on the tube. He had been working on the In the Heat of the Night TV series, and then following up with Diagnosis Murder, as he had already worked on the short-lived comedy We Got It Made. Now, of course, Silverman had also done other cartoons before this, like Meatball and Spaghetti and Pandemonium back in 1982. So, with everything said, Piggsburg Pigs, that's pretty funny. Maybe not that great of a show, but it's pretty fun. Why have you? I think if you like some really crazy shows with a little mystery theme, not quite like Scooby Doo, you, but with actual monsters and what have you, then I think you'll feel right at home with this show. Like I said, most of the episodes are currently available on YouTube, so you can check it out. So that'll do it. What did you think of Piggsburg Pigs? Did you ever watch this when you were growing up? Well, let me know in the comment section below. Oh, before I finish this, there was one more thing I was going to mention. Well, Piggsburg Pigs, I know, kind of didn't do so hot in its time slot. Now, originally it aired in the 9 o'clock Central time slot, where it aired against the Beetlejuice cartoon on ABC and the first half of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on CBS. The only other competitor was the Kid and Play cartoon on NBC. Then later on, it was sent to 9:30, where it competed against the second half of Turtles, as well as the final season of the Chipmunks on NBC in the Chipmunks Go to the Movies. And as for ABC, I think a pup named Scooby Doo was on at that time, but I can't go back and check. But anyway, yes. So apparently, that's why this show probably didn't do so hot. But anyway, at least it went on for the whole 1990 to 1991 season. So again, tell me what you thought about Piggsburg Pigs in the comments section below if you remember this show. And if you like this, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. And we'll have another video come in for you soon. So if you like this, check out the Saturday Morning TVLogs for these other two shows I had just mentioned that Fred Silverman worked on. In the upper left-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TVLog on Pandemonium. The upper right-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TVLog on Meatballs and Spaghetti, which is now on Tubi to stream if you would like to check it out. It's also on the Cartoon Rewind Fast channel if you would like to check it out. Or if you would like maybe something else, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see the Saturday Morning TVLog for another one of the first shows to come to the Fox Kids Network in its first year on Saturday mornings, and that's Zazu U. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TVLog, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TVLog is Widget. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.